Hello, welcome back to the Oblivious Maximus podcast for another week. I'm Aaron.
I'm Ben.
Here's Ginger.
Yeah.
Is that my bit? Is that my bit?
Yeah. We try and really get the guests in as soon as possible. Because
Great.
It's really awkward to just have you sitting there while we chat.
Yeah, I'm not good at sitting in silence. Is that why you wanted me on?
Yeah. I think when we did the first one with Callum, because so we recorded that one with him first, and we didn't do any planning really.
No.
So we were talking, and he was sitting here, and it was a very strange thing to be excluding him from the conversation for a few
Because
minutes.
he couldn't be in the little intro bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, exclude Callum.
Yeah.
No, I didn't say that.
Well, thank you for coming.
Thanks
Yes.
for having me. Very happy to be here.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming all the way out to Coburg where we record. It's stupid old. There's a bit happening here today. There's got a big filming
There's a
downstairs.
full stand-up special being filmed down there.
There's a stand-up special that you haven't been invited to.
Yeah.
That's what
That's
I heard.
true.
Yeah, just don't have a following or an agent.
Fuck.
Doing my best.
Those two things.
But yeah, thanks for coming down. I guess just before we chat to you, if people don't know you, who are you? Why have you come? No.
Who are you and why are you here?
Are you?
My name's Ginger Taylor, and I never know what to say my job title is. I'm sure you probably get this with a lot of creatives.
Yeah.
Because it's so diverse.
Yeah, well, I guess talking to Callum, he was the word creator is thrown around so much now.
Yeah.
Well, I think because it's actually a job title now too, right?
Yeah. I
content
generally
creator
say-
is a thing.
Exactly. I generally say illustrator
Okay.
because if you say artist, it could be you're a musician or
Sure.
anything.
Sculpture.
Or if people think you're a musician or you only paint oil paintings.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I say illustrator.
Yeah, so I think that's your core thing, right? Illustrator.
Yeah, I draw pictures.
Draw
I paint
pictures.
things. Sometimes it's a bowling pin. I just basically take any job that anybody wants me to draw.
Hey,
I'm
you
a
gotta do it.
creator.
You're a creator.
I'm a maker of things.
Maker of things.
That's where Callum landed too.
Yeah.
Maker.
I think it sounds cool as well.
Yeah. I feel like Callum is me in male form.
Good to know.
Good to know.
I mean, he's doing a lot more.
He's building video shops.
I know.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I still haven't gone.
Maybe one day I'll
Sorry.
build a video shop.
yeah, well, that's where I bumped into you, and we were I was talking to Aaron, and you'd watched the pod.
Yeah.
It was it was very vindicating for me because I'd been editing these multicam YouTube things, going
Yeah, you're quite
10
stressed
people
about
are
it.
watching this. And I think I told you I was doing it while watching something. So I was just like, oh yeah, Aaron's talking now.
Yeah, you told me that you were stressed out about all of the cameras and editing.
Yeah.
And then you said that you had 3. And I was like, you sound like you're doing fine.
Yeah.
You're doing a good job.
But thank you for watching and saying it was okay.
It was great. Very professional. And this room is professional.
Yeah.
I'm a little upset I didn't bring trinkets.
Yeah.
My screen needs trinkets.
Yeah, sorry. Your screen is real devoid of
I've
trinkets.
probably got
over there.
trinkets in my bag.
What do you got in there?
Oh,
This is a segment?
Yeah.
What's in your bag?
dude. Do you actually want it? No, you've got so many questions. It's a Mary Poppins bag.
Let me tell you something real quick.
I wish you would.
Donald Duck, right?
Yeah, pantsless.
Pantsless.
I thought that's what you were going to say.
Yeah, I'm not wearing any pants on it. The first toy I was ever given as a baby is a Donald Duck stuffed toy.
Oh my God.
Still have it to this day.
Look at that.
Well, that's
You can't have this.
yeah.
I got this from the post office.
I need that.
It's my special bottle.
Well, one of the first clips we put up, Pluckers on there, and your mum commented,
Yeah.
where is Donald Duck?
Hey, Mum, she'll probably watch this.
I should have bought you a Donald Duck. Get her on the show and get her to bring you a Donald Duck.
I did actually do a podcast with my mum one time.
Did you?
Yeah. I just asked her about how she got into music. She had some good answers.
Yeah,
That's
I want to
great.
hear that. I used to do a podcast with my mum.
Did you?
Did you?
Yeah, she has a lot of good stories. So we started a podcast in lockdown. She still does it, but I don't anymore because I got busy.
She still does it.
Yeah, because she
What's
doesn't have a job.
What's she
She's
chatting
retired.
about? What's her pod
she's-
called? Let's
It's
let's
called,
plug it.
It's called A Funny Thing Happened, and
Okay.
it's really good. She just, every time she remembers a story from her life, she just jumps on her little set and just records
That's sick.
it.
That's great.
She's got stories about she went to George Lucas's, the Star Wars creator, his house party.
Yeah, so my note that I said to Stella was so I knew that your dad was
Yeah.
like a famous animator.
Yeah.
Of some, of some
Did
renown.
I tell you this when I met you like 20 years ago?
That might have been the case.
Okay.
But I was like, there's got to be some psycho shit.
Yeah, that's
In
some
there.
good stuff. I mean,
So
I wouldn't even
going to
know
George
where to
Lucas's
begin.
house is,
That's one of them.
yeah.
Yeah, she's got a lot of good stories. A funny thing happened. You can listen to them all.
Tune in. I'm going to do it now.
Yeah, you should.
Well, is like your dad, is that how you got into drawing? When do you feel like you really kind of hit your style? When did that come into its own?
The style thing takes a very long time. I still feel like I guess it's all like imposter syndrome based, right? Like I always am like, I didn't really know I had a style until people had to keep reminding me.
Yeah.
Maybe like 2 years ago.
Yeah, right.
And I was drawing my whole life before that. He used to bring, we'd go out for dinner every night because, I mean, I don't know if I should say this on the podcast, but I'm pretty sure he didn't like my mum's cooking. And we lived in this little in Crow's Nest in Sydney. And so we would just go up the road every night for dinner. And he would just bring pads and pens and me and my brother and sister would just sit there and draw. So it was kind of right from the get-go,
Yeah.
I guess.
And did you borrow anything from your dad, or do you feel like did he teach you how to draw?
Yeah, he used to have these little pads that were he designed this stop motion animation pad and then got them printed. So I was always really good at because you kind of have to draw like they're one singular frame.
Yeah.
Yep.
And,
So it was
and
all
every,
lined
every
out.
little bit of movement, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so he'd get us to do these little flip books. And then So I guess that.
That's
and now
awesome.
look at me
Where'd you go?
drawing hot dogs, riding hot dogs. From money.
But that's what's so cool about it. It's I feel like anyone, because you do a lot of commission stuff as well, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's always sort of in your style.
Yeah, I kind of, when we went into the first lockdown, my online store kind of popped off because I was I'm just going to focus on this. And I made a really conscious effort. I was I'm not going to say yes to any jobs for a year just to see if I can do it on my own. And luckily that worked out. Would have been real bad if it didn't. So yeah, that worked out. And then after that, now I only really do jobs that I can do in my style. I'm
Yeah.
not just taking jobs for money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People
Which
come
is
to you because they
ideal.
want that specifically.
Yeah. Although you'll still get a client be like, we love your work, do it in your style. And then you send them a sketch and they're like, great, change everything about it. And you're like, I fell for it again.
It feels like there's never a creator that's yeah, and then the client didn't have any feedback at all.
Honestly, I'm such a brat with clients. I really am.
But I think you kind of have to be at a point though too, because at the end of the day, they've asked you for a reason.
Yeah.
Right? They haven't asked you because, they've asked you because of the stuff that they've seen of yours.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what you're going to be getting.
Yeah.
I have it all the time with band stuff too and recordings and so people who record with people and they go, we want our record to sound like this. And I've got friends that are like, I can't record like that. So
Yeah.
why are you asking me to do that?
Yeah.
You should ask the person who recorded the thing you want to sound like.
Yeah, exactly. It's the exact same thing as art.
Yeah.
I feel like they are very close worlds.
Yeah.
If I could play an instrument or sing.
Have you ever given it a crack?
Oh, yeah.
How'd you go?
I'm so bad at it.
Why?
I figure my theory is you can't be really good at drawing and music. I'm sure there's people that are, but that's my excuse.
I mean, no.
Why
but
I can't
think,
play.
I think there's a similar thing too with
I say the same thing about being funny. I'm
Yeah.
I can just play bass.
But that's the thing. You can't be funny, play an instrument, or be really musically talented and then be an incredible artist.
yeah.
You can't do all. Everyone would hate you.
yeah.
You'd never
Yeah.
end up on a podcast.
No way.
No way.
Yeah.
Too busy.
Yeah.
Doing all that commission work.
Doing everything you can in the world with your talent.
So as a bit of background, when I was looking at the little bit I read from one of the links Ben sent me yesterday, I saw an interview.
I did research.
I want to know the links.
I typed
Send
in,
them to me.
well, first I typed in Gina Taylor.
That's my friend's mum, Gina Taylor. Yes, we have the same initials. Yeah.
And then
Shout out to Gina Taylor.
I like how you just went straight for Gina.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just like, then I was like, hang on. And it said, did you mean? I was like, yes, I did. And then,
I'm happy that I come up in a did you mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Your
good.
stock
I
is
like
rising.
that. Yeah. That's good.
Google's onto you. Yeah, just to do a bit of background work.
What'd you find?
Well, because I think I said to Ben, I was like, well, I definitely met Ginger, but I think in like a beer garden in Adelaide.
Yeah, so
15
nobody
years ago.
remembers that. Anything to do with Adelaide, I can't remember. One, it was a long time ago. Two, the schooners were $2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those beer towers they used to sell at Enigma.
Beer towers. Ooh, Enigma. That just gave me like a weird
Before the-
shiver
Did you have one
up
of
my
them?
back.
No, I had one. I think the only time I've ever had a beer tower was at the Bruno in Brisbane. I remember they had beer towers.
I mean, it's a sick invention.
Yeah.
Is it
say.
just, it's like ice in the middle.
So yeah, it's like a
It's a popsicle.
Essentially, it's a cylinder with a big
It's like a nuclear reactor. It's like
with
it's
a
got
big thing of
core.
ice in the core.
Yeah.
And when I first had one at Enigma Bar, it was the first place I ever had one.
This is a bad place to have
Brutal
anything.
venue.
Remember those robots?
Yeah, it's the alien
It's weird, man.
and the Predator from the movie Predator.
I think this
Yeah.
is the second podcast
already-
we talked about Predator.
Is it? I thought you were going to say Enigma, and I was like, I'll talk more about Enigma. Remember when your feet used to stick to the floor?
Yeah.
Red Bull and cranberry juice. I remember it well.
No, but I remember the first time I went there, someone just got a beer tower, like Gabe or someone was like, "Here, we're having this," and I was
know
like,
Gabe.
"Yeah, see, we know everybody."
It's Adelaide.
I was like, "Here, we're having this thing," and I was like, "Oh, that's so cool. They must like bring that in." No, they just like get the tube under the tap,
Oh.
so it's just tap beer, but in another tap.
Just
but-
in a different.
What did you think they
Vessel.
were shipping them in?
Well, I was like, maybe they got.
Straight from the Cooper's Brewery.
To be fair, I never really thought about it either, but the tap is disappointing.
Yeah, it is.
But
It's-
like, if you think about it, the only
Where
other
else is it
way,
coming from?
What
Yeah.
else?
Special beer.
Straight from Germany.
Yeah.
but
It's real flat.
Yeah.
it was, it's sick, but then it gets. I mean, it does get flat very quick.
Yeah.
But because the schooners are so cheap, there's a real like weird like you're only buying it for like the majesty of it.
Yeah.
Like that's
Spectacle.
why. Yeah.
And you're in Adelaide and everything's so cheap, so you can do things
Oh
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, you're loving it.
Buy
Anyway,
weird vessels for no reason.
so we probably met over a beer tower.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I probably met a lot of people over a beer tower. Probably met Gabe over a beer tower.
Yeah.
I mean, before we started recording, we were talking about Poison City, that kind of whole wave.
Yeah.
You sort of a part of that, I guess.
You know what? I feel like we used to come over for it.
Yeah.
Like I used to live with Josh in Adelaide, Josh Mann, and he just told me about it once. And then he was like, we go over all the time for it. And I was like, sick, count me in. So I would think I went to like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I think that might have only been.
It was a cultural
It
phenomenon.
was a real like
Yeah.
time
I
and a
played
place.
Did you?
Yeah, in our metal hardcore band play.
Yeah.
I Exist played it.
I feel like there was a certain amount of people that were all like the interstate people, like the people that would fly over for it, and they were always the ones that got the most. I swear on here.
Yeah, I think
yeah.
I
Fucked
worked.
up.
Yeah. Oh, big time.
Okay,
Well,
good.
it's like I distinctly remember when Luca Brasi and Tazzy came into it. 'Cause
The
it just
Tazzy
went
boys.
up another level.
Yeah, well, the show.
I ended up dating one of them, not in the band, but one of those Tassie boys
Oh.
after that Poison City because they
made a real impression on
they
you.
were really fun.
Yeah.
They were
'Cause they
a
were
fun bunch.
Insane.
yeah.
Yeah.
The show we played was with them.
Yeah.
It was with and Extortion, a band I am now in. But it was
You an extortion.
I am
Oh, fancy.
pretty big deal over here.
I didn't look up any links before.
Yeah, why didn't you Google me?
I'm really sorry. I was very busy.
I should have sent you links.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, this is Aaron, just an FYI.
Aaron Osborne.
Yeah, the show is Extortion, Luca Brasi, I Exist. Crazy. And it was at the Tote.
I
Pretty
was
wild.
there.
Where?
That might have been the last time I was at the show.
My 2 standout memories from it, Jake, who's the singer of I Exist, his thing in the past used to be he'd bring fireworks with us on tour because the band is from Canberra. And at the time, you could still buy fireworks there. He lit fireworks off while Luca Brasi were playing in the Tote.
Okay, maybe I wasn't there, or I was in the beer garden. I don't remember.
Probably.
that.
He got kicked out for doing that, I think. And then Maud's from Break Even was also there. And I believe I might have my memory wrong here because I was probably pissed, but there's a gumball machine at the front of the tote.
Okay.
And someone was like telling Mords to get out because of the firecracker incident. And he grabbed the gumball machine and like tried to run out the door. And
Amazing.
but it was like chained to the wall. So he got like shoehorned back into the,
Which means that someone's tried to do that before.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think it was like, he just like ate shit and everyone laughed. But then I'm pretty sure no one ended up getting kicked out in the end. Like it was
Because they just thought it was so funny.
Yeah.
Slapstick saved the day. They're like, yeah, you're right.
These guys have been lighting fireworks and mucking around in here.
Yeah. I feel like it's a real badge of honor getting kicked out of the tote.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never been kicked out of the tote.
I've been kicked out once.
I got banned from there.
What?
Well, I don't think they'd remember.
Okay.
I didn't do
They got new
anything
owners now, so who gives a fuck?
Hey,
Yeah.
scratch that. Edit that out.
guy didn't pay-
I'm allowed at the tote.
That guy didn't pay anyone's super, so
Yeah.
fuck him.
Anyway.
All
yeah.
bands deceased.
Anyway, the point I was trying to make earlier,
I forget where we were going.
well, it was Googling you.
Okay, yep.
But the wildest thing that I saw was that your dad worked on Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah, that's my favorite one.
That's so sick.
That and cow and chicken. I like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone's like impressed by his resume because it's cool anyway. And they
Yeah.
always go like, he worked on Nightmare. And I'm like, yeah, but did you know he worked on Ren and Stimpy and Cow and Chicken? Like, I'm a fangirl over it.
What was the stuff he did for it? Like, what was his...
Uh-oh.
Sorry, Dad.
I was a baby, so I can't remember. No, he did, he had something to do with Ren and Stimpy coming to Australia.
Oh, right.
So he didn't actually work on the show. For ages, I thought that he was the guy that did all the splattered backgrounds. So I just told everyone that.
I mean, that's fine.
I know. And
You
there's
could have
like,
told me that just then. And I would have been like,
yeah,
dope.
true.
Great.
But now I know that I'm lying. I didn't know back then.
It's like my grandfather used to tell everyone that we were related to Shakespeare.
Yeah.
And it is true, but it's by marriage. So I
No,
don't have any of that
that's still
DNA.
cool.
Like
Nah. That's still a claim.
That's still good.
that's still good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually need to find out if it's true, but
But Ancestry.com's so expensive.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just Googling.
You sound like you're quite good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the net.
But yeah, he worked on Ren and Stimpy. I think he had something. He went to the studios in the States.
Yeah.
Saw what was going on. Had something to do with bringing it here. And then I do know he did actually do sets and like layouts for Cow and Chicken.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because my thing was like when I was a kid, Ren and Stimpy was like obviously massive for viewing. But I reckon Ren and Stimpy was the first thing I ever saw like art-wise, which now leans towards like being into death metal and dumb shit like that when they would have like the hyper zoom
Yeah.
stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it would get so gory
I
and
know.
brutal. And it was like,
Like the pimples in their
yeah,
hair. So
yeah.
good.
And I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
This rocks.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll draw something and then somebody will be like, oh, that's quite like this or like this. And it'll be something that my dad's worked on. I'm like, story checks out.
Yeah.
I was raised as a freak.
Yeah. Well, I remember feeling like being a bit younger and seeing that and being a bit freaked out.
Yeah.
And then I feel like that's really influenced that whole like Adult Swim cartoon,
100%.
which is
Yeah.
like dialed up 1000%.
Which I don't like.
No, I don't really like it either.
No, well, I lived with Mikey Nolan, and he's like really into like horror and gore stuff, which I'm not so much a part of. And
Yeah.
like those insane Adult Swim cartoons like
Oh, yeah.
Super Jail and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Which are just like, I feel like if I'm a little bit high when I watch them, I'm like, I'm going to have a panic attack.
Yeah. You know what? I get that. I used to like quite enjoy Family Guy when I was younger. Now the noise of that show,
It's abrasive.
I
Yeah.
hate it. It sends
Oh,
me into
yeah.
like sensory overload. I'll like smoke a little doob, try to watch a little Family Guy and just be like,
Yeah,
What about
back to the Simpsons.
a clip of Family Guy, but also Subway Surfer?
I don't know what Subway Surfer is.
It's like one of those clips where it's like a video up top, or like
Oh,
those TikTok,
right.
and then there's like a game playing down beneath.
No, that will simply give me a panic attack. I'm 33 now. I can't do it.
When I'm smoking my weed, I'm just watching a band live at.
Yeah.
Are you?
Oh, that's all
Is that
I'm
what
doing.
you do?
Yeah, I'm just watching YouTube.
I like to
live
watch
sets.
factory videos. like mega factory.
Okay.
Oh,
Like things being made,
Oh yeah.
that's great.
they're my favorite.
Big cranes.
Big cranes. No, you know, there's like just the factory videos. It'll be like somebody sitting there like with a conveyor belt, and there'll just be like a thing that comes down. I love them.
There's
Repetition.
there's one that
Yeah, I
There's-
love repetition.
There's one that gets served up to me all the time, and it's like, watch these people wrap chocolates, and it's like they've got they're not looking like they're talking, doing whatever.
Oh yeah, no,
work.
they're not looking. They
And they're
they just do it.
They're
Instinct.
sheathing chocolates
Yeah.
somehow by hand.
Yeah. It's good shit,
It's madness.
It's
Yeah.
insane what's happening over there.
man. Can we do it?
YouTube's
Can we
got it
do an
all.
excursion to a factory? Have me on the podcast again. We'll go to a factory.
Yeah, well, I think, I'd say friend of the pod, Aaron Gox, I think, went to the 4 and 20 factory to see
Is that
pies.
Oh, yeah.
here?
It's in, it's like on the way to Gippsland somewhere. It's
I want to look up all factory tours you can do in Victoria, and I want to do all.
You
of
can
them.
there's a Cadbury one here.
It's in Ringwood, yeah.
Ringwood.
My
Fuck
friend
yeah.
Christian worked there for a while.
See, I'd love to work in a factory. I really do love repetition. Let's change my intro. My name's Ginger Taylor, and I love repetition.
My name's Digital. I'm looking for factory work.
Everyone's like, "You've got your dream job. You get to draw silly pictures." And I'm like, "No, I want to sit there and just like move things."
I need
Yeah.
to be getting paid to do this.
Well, people, yeah. Well, I think that's when someone the other day, I think Mitch Penny, a friend of ours, was like, "Best jobs are the ones where you get to drive around for a bit." I love that.
I looked into being a truck driver. I recently have just started an apprenticeship. I'm doing a laser tattoo
Yep.
removal one, which I'm very excited about. But before I worked out I was going to do that, I was like looking at other ways to make money because, you know, the economy.
Yep.
And I looked up truck driving and I realized that I can't take my chihuahuas on the road. But I would love it.
One of our dear friends does it for a
love
living.
it.
Yeah.
Sounds
They just
pretty
like
wild.
take these things from A to B.
That's it.
That's
You
it.
don't have to reply to emails.
No.
You don't have to worry about like reviews.
No way.
I'd love it.
None of that shit.
Listen to your weird podcast on factories for 19 hours.
If only. I mean, if you get that Apple Vision thing, you could just watch them while driving.
Yeah.
People are doing that.
Maybe
Yeah.
I can work out the chihuahua thing because that sounds really good.
You need those chihuahuas
Yeah.
with you. in
Get them
that
on the
truck.
road.
Yeah.
The Ringwood, I think it's a Cadbury factory.
Yeah.
They used to do a deal, which I've partaken in the past, where you can get a bag of like offcuts for
Yes.
$5. And
We're going.
yeah,
Like, I don't know what you're doing after
Well, I used
this.
to live near it when I was growing up, and I remember they had a big picnic
yeah.
out the front. Like
Like a giant fake one?
yeah, it was just a billboard, but it was like the shape. It wasn't like
Of the bar or the wrapper?
the wrapper, yeah.
Because the bar looks
a
like
bar
a
on a
piece of
billboard
shit.
is not
I'm
ideal.
imagining like a bus-sized picnic bar.
Delicious.
And now I want to know where I can find that.
Yeah, well, it'd be good to like another big Australian thing to go
Yeah.
visit. That'd be
Yeah,
sick.
big picnic bar.
I bought one of the like offcut bags from there, and I bought Boost because it's one of my favorite
best
chocolate
one.
bars.
Was it got guarana in it? Is that?
Oh yeah, it's.
Does it actually?
I think it does.
That
yeah.
might be why I like
It's like
it.
an energy drink.
Is it really? No wonder I'm so zapped all the time.
But I bought a bag of them, and the whole thing was like, because the chocolate itself has like a ripple on it.
Yeah.
These were all smooth, so they didn't make it into the wrappers.
Were you like, this is better?
I was like, this rocks, whatever it is. And then, but I brought it home, and my partner, Duck, I was like, hey, I got all these fucking chockies. And she was like, how many did you get? And I like pulled the bag out, and it was like, I mean, it was like a kind of a garbage bag.
You pulled it out of your pocket though. It was just liquid.
But then we had them for so long. Like we were just like,
I mean, how many boosts can you eat?
well, that's it. That's what I mean. Like I thought at the time, I was like, $5, what a deal. And then after like a week of boosts, it's like, I don't know if I feel like a boost right now.
Do you think maybe you didn't like it subconsciously because they were smooth?
That might have been it.
What if there's something in that
That-
where like they know
They know that's
you
why
need
it's
them
only
to not be
$5.
smooth?
Yeah.
But I feel like when you've got too much of something, Like I remember years ago, before you could kind of get Dr. Pepper here, you
Yeah.
had to go down to USA Foods in Moorabbin.
Yeah, you can't just go to a 7-Eleven.
Yeah, and I bought a case of it over summer and was like drinking it with Jamison. And the end of that summer, I don't think I've drank a Dr. Pepper since.
No.
It burnt you out.
Yeah.
I did the same. I went to that USA Foods and I bought like a bunch of cereal just because I really love the packaging.
Yeah.
And then I like made my way through one box of Lucky Charms and I was like, my teeth
It's
are going
crook.
to fall out.
Oh yeah, that is like, that's one of the things where like having lots of friends in America and going there a lot is like the things that you learn from not being there is like people are eating this every day.
Yeah, which I think
is
is just still
insane.
shocking to all of us. Like, you know those TikTok videos where they do like, these are also my favorite, other than factory videos. I love the TikToks where they like stock their fridge.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like the sounds and everything.
That rocks.
But like I watch it because it's like great ASMR, but also like there's like 50 cans of soda in there, and it's
Yeah.
like here's your vegetable crisper full of chocolate, and I'm like, I see where the problem is.
The what?
Aesthetically, it looks like amazing.
I want to live there.
I'm not on TikTok because I'm a boomer in the social media.
I'm older than you.
landscape.
I'm on the talk, but I got a reason to be. I'm insane.
You're doing live.
Depends how much. It depends like
I got to
how
delete
much
it
you're
every so
into
often.
factory videos.
Well, my actual reason for not getting is that I think I will spend too much time on it.
That's where everyone
Yeah.
goes. Do you know what I have found though? I think. Well, like, do you spend a lot of time on Instagram just scrolling?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
not in an inordinate amount. I'm good at like
Yeah.
being like I got to get off this fucking
Yeah.
thing.
See, I didn't want to get TikTok for so long because I had the same thing. Like my entire job is my phone.
Sure.
I hate being on it. I hate texting. I don't
Yeah.
like it. So I was like, I'm not going to get TikTok. And then I got it and I was like, once it learns who
Yes.
you are, the videos that come up on my feed are so specifically for me.
It's scary.
That's
but it's
my worry.
great because I'm actually learning things. That's the difference. Instagram,
So it's
I feel
educational.
like it is though.
Yeah.
Like there are some TikTok things that I like have put into my everyday life. But I go
Such
on,
as
I can't think of a single thing.
Well, I see a lot of like, after a while, it's kind of like showing me like video editing stuff. And then,
Oh, that's
like,
good.
But then very like hyper specific stuff like, here's a clip about 90s emo. And you're like, oh,
Yes.
how did you know?
Yeah, I know. It's wild.
the one that I like get a TikTok thing a month later on Instagram, but the one that I see that blows my mind is the people who like can't drink water.
Water talk is insane.
And they're
What
like,
are you talking about?
so they're like,
I'm going to need to know about this.
they're obviously American people's apologies to anyone from America who's listening.
That's not your fault they don't drink water.
They don't like drinking water because all their taps are fucked over there and their pipes are fucked. But so all these people who have just been bred off not being able to drink water, like fill up a bottle like that, put a little bit of water in it, and then it is a whole rigmarole of them putting in different flavorings and different ice and like
I didn't know this was
lollies
because of
and
the
shit.
taps, though.
Yeah, it's like,
Well, the thing is, in certain places over there, the plumbing is just a disaster. It's the same in Sydney and in Adelaide, actually.
The Sydney water does not taste as good. I
And
will say that.
Adelaide water,
I can't remember back that far. I had beer
Terrible.
instead. We talked about this, the $2
Yeah.
schooners.
Yeah.
I was not drinking water.
I was drinking beer towels all the time, brushing my teeth with them. No, but I'm. This is me making a very bold statement for someone who's had 4 beers, but like the plumbing's fucked.
Well, it sounds like if that's the reason, then that's a better reason than what I just thought, which was they're stocking their fridges with soda and they're
No,
I think it's also like they're like weaned on bottled water and stuff as well. Like,
yeah.
Right.
So it's very. I mean, the other thing too is like that's what happens when you go overseas and you don't drink water, then you get sick.
yeah.
Because you like can't. You're not
Handle
building an immunity to whatever's there.
And it's very connected to like the Stanley Cup phase and stuff as well.
I'm so into that.
Yeah.
I actually got one for Valentine's Day, but
Awesome.
it's a came up one. But to my boyfriend, that's okay. I love it. He picked my favorite color. Have you seen that SNL bit though, where they
no.
there's this SNL bit that's quite new, and it's all of these girls, and they're like, "We're camping with our fancy cups."
Oh, yeah.
And then I watched it, got one for Valentine's Day, and then went camping with my fancy cup. And I was
Became
walking
the
around
joke.
all weekend being like, "I'm in nature with my fancy cup," and nobody knew what I was talking about.
Well, they've become really like kids are getting bullied for not having the Stanley brand.
Oh my God, I love this stuff. Not that kids are getting bullied. I'm just
going to clip that up.
Ooh, I love children being bullied. No. No, but it's like the Smiggle thing.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same stuff. I love how kids will just take
Decide that it's cool.
decide to start some sort of weird gambling war over these things.
Well,
Because what else are they doing?
Yeah.
our friend Matt, I might have to cut this out.
Oh, God.
At his school that he works at, there was a year 10 boys are giving each other haircuts.
That was like a haircut
Like there's
ring.
an underground haircut ring.
That's amazing.
And there's a note from a parent or something saying I saw one of the boys running away in a cape.
He's even got capes. That's the best
he's
part.
doing it pro.
At least he's doing it right.
Yeah.
I, by trade, am a primary school teacher.
Yeah.
And I have seen no end of insane fads get started through being in schools and see kids be like, this thing's cool now. I'm like, this thing is dumb as hell. What? How
Yeah.
have you kids
But you
decided
think
that this
back,
is it?
when
we all had 'em.
Tazos came out,
Oh my God.
man, all sorts of trading cards.
that was big.
Yeah. I lived in Fiji for a brief period.
Cool. Fiji water's my favorite water. It is though.
You
gotta
know
get
the
on Real
island.
Talk.
Yeah, I still don't know what you're talking about. We still haven't gotten there.
Oh, yeah.
Bring it up.
No, Fiji. Go back.
So when I lived in Fiji, one of the biggest things was, and again, I had previously to living there, I'd lived in Australia and I'd lived in Taiwan, and then I moved to Fiji. And the biggest thing in Fiji when I was in primary school there was spinning tops. And I remember thinking
Tops. That's
Like a-
1920s.
like real,
Not Beyblades.
no, the OG Beyblade.
The OG Beyblade.
But yeah, spinning top. And I remember being I remember thinking in my head at the time, really derogatory, I'm bigger than this. I've played video games. And then after a week at school, I was like, I gotta get me some fucking tops.
You're walking around I need me some spinning tops.
am I
Your
gonna
kids want to
interact with
sell me a
these?
it's starting to get sweaty.
You're trying to convince kids. You gotta use Sega. It's awesome.
I'm the loser.
They're yeah, we don't care. Just
Yeah,
spin
it's
it away.
stationary. It sucks.
Yeah. I still feel like I do that as an adult. I've recently gotten into dice.
Yeah.
The rolling of them.
Yeah.
or-
I don't even-
playing dice.
I don't even know the rules of any games. I just have decided that I am into dice, and I went online. I bought lots
of them?
dice.
Normal
I bought
dice?
myself just normal.
Okay,
I bought
not-
myself one of those little velvet bags to hold my
my
dice.
God.
And I still don't know any games, but I'll still just decide I want to be into a weird little fad.
I think years ago I went to the fest in America, and guys outside of the shows were gambling, playing dice on the street, and I was
I think that's cool. That's what I want to do.
yeah, and I was like, yep. I was like, I'm gonna bring this back to Australia.
See, this was my thought. So I went and bought all this die. It's the plural of dice.
Die.
Yeah. But I don't have the attention span to actually learn
Sure.
the game. So now I just have all of this dice, and I'm hoping one day I'll just be out. I'll get my dice out, and someone will be like, you want to learn a thing or two? And then
you holding dice right now?
not on me. There's so many other weird things in my photo. If we do run out of things to talk about, which I don't think will ever happen.
Well, it
It's
is
a lot.
I think I definitely have those obsessions. For me, during lockdown, I got really into I'm gonna buy a van and I'm gonna deck it out.
Yes.
And I was watching endless.
Yeah, you
van-
were talking big game about setting up your car.
Yeah, well, I have a Volkswagen Golf, and I was like, maybe I'll do it with that.
Yeah.
Because all these Euros have done it. And I remember telling a girl about this, and she definitely stopped talking to me when I was like, I'm going to live in my car.
Hold on, my mum's calling.
Well, I'm just doing a welfare check. But I slowly started watching the videos, and the people in them go insane.
Oh, yeah.
It's,
In the ones that live in their car.
yeah.
See, I did this too in lockdown. I bought a RAV4 with the full intention of not living in it, but I kind of wanted it as
Go
a little-
away.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
away. Also kind of just cubby house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Escape.
Get sick of your house, you go sit in your car for a minute. Fairy lights, cute.
You've already talked about how you wanted to be a truck driver, so we know you.
Yeah.
Sleeping in the car is
Yeah.
the first step.
But yeah, I don't think you could do. I mean, you could do it with a Golf. but you do kind of need enough room to put a bed in it.
You got to build a rig that goes in the back.
No, I just got a RAV4 and then got one of those mattress toppers and put it in the back. It
See,
works
that's
really
perfect.
well.
That's actually perfect.
Yeah. I lived your dream.
Yeah, damn it.
It's not like that now. It's just
every
full of boxes.
week we get a person on that's lived a dream I've failed at.
And then we ask them, what's in that bag?
I can't wait for the next podcast.
We've come up with so many new segments in this episode. It's awesome.
How to crush your dreams. What's in the bag? Factory tours.
What sort of car have you lived in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever sleep in it though?
No, I slept in my old car, which was like a Commodore. It was my first car. VTS pack. Sorry to brag.
That is a brag.
Yeah.
That's a cool car. Now.
Well, it is kind of funny that they are. I've become like, you know, you're becoming your parents. Like I see one now and I like take photos of them. I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Look, that's mint as.
Yeah. I've done that with a Ford Laser before. I have.
They're cool. So I guess at the moment, where are you at with, you know, obviously truck driving, that's in the future.
Yes.
But you're now focusing on your Patreon and your zine. How's it going?
Yes. So good. We were talking about how I love repetitive jobs and I have somehow made it really work for me because I'll sit there and just put like 200 stamps on envelopes and just zone out. And then obviously the actual artwork side of it is actually also really fun. The zine's great. It's
how many have you put out now?
madness. 3.
Awesome.
I just put them in the postbox. So 3 as of today.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just there's no structure to it, which I like because as you can tell, there's a lot of ADHD. So yeah, it's just like kind of whatever I draw. I keep a lot of journals. Like I'm always like yesterday, a little girl gave me a rock, and so I like have journaled that, and now I'm like, oh, I can like scan that for my zine. So it's like a lot of comics. A lot of useless information. I have a page that's like current hyperfixations, and then I'll just draw. Right now, it's mochi and factory tours.
Well, mochi, it's like in Coles now.
Yeah, the Coles one's not as good as Woolworths.
Yeah,
Little Moons.
Oh, that's that brand.
Is the best one. It's the best one I found, other than like actual places like
do it.
Japan.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
as close as we'll get.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, a big thing for me is whatever you've got in that zine sounds like it could end up on a TikTok at this point.
Yeah,
You could be,
maybe. I should have brought you some. I'll post you guys the 3 zines.
Oh my god, love
That
this.
can be my trinket.
Your gift.
Yeah.
No gift required.
You said no gifts.
send it in, post it in after.
You'll get sued.
Yeah, we just do someone else's podcast.
Some guy in LA, no big deal. Yeah, no, but I love it. I really, really love it. I love everything stationary. I always have. I love going online and finding like the weirdest stationery I can find and make all the envelopes really cute. And then I sit there and I got like a little stamp made. It's called the Rat Bag Club, the Patreon.
That's such a good name.
Yeah.
Thanks. I don't really know where it came from. I've just always been, I think I just got called a rat bag as a kid and then found my people.
Yeah, rat bag I feel like it's like a fun, it really reminds me of like my uncle. He would call me a rat bag a lot.
It's kind of like the term every kid with ADHD was called.
Yes.
If like undiagnosed ADHD.
Yeah.
Like you little rat bag.
Because you were just cutting sick around the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, she's such a little rat bag. It's
Yeah,
like,
they
no,
were-
she needs to be medicated.
Yeah, there was a kid at our school who climbed up a big tree and broke every branch off on the way up.
Stunning.
And they had to call the fire brigade to get him down.
Real
Yeah.
rat bag
That's some
shit.
self-sabotage.
Yeah, yeah. And
He's like, watch me now.
his mum worked at the local video shop and he always had, never in uniform, would always just have a movie tee
That's
on.
that would have been the sickest shit though.
I
Yeah.
want to know where he is now because I want to be his friend.
I don't think a great no, I'm sure. Actually, you know, I didn't go to my high school reunion. I think I was at a real downswing.
I didn't go either.
But I
Neither.
did look at the Facebook event.
Yeah.
And just caught up with everyone that way. I just got to stalk everyone
I
on
didn't
that.
even get invited to mine, I don't think.
Well, it's sort of like, I guess it depends how many high school people you have on Facebook.
Depends how many friends you have because it's high school, you see, and popularity.
Yeah,
But like,
that's a tough one.
But like, my thing is that it's always been very odd to me. Like, I'm not really friends with that many people I went to school with. Like,
But you grew up in a... Well, yeah, and part of your schooling was overseas.
Yeah, but everyone I went to high school with that I'm still friends with are all people who like got into the same music or whatever. Like,
I think I'm friends with 4 people from high school, and
yeah,
they're all still. We're all into the same stuff.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, like so that's the same with me. And like, but then there are other people from school who are definitely just like hanging like their entire lives. with
Yeah,
people
it's
from school.
weird. It's like you either stay in that life forever or you go the music route, is what it feels.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
all
I
the
think,
emos
well, I think
moved into stay, and all the rest of them have stayed.
yeah. Oh well, I think it also has a lot to do with staying where you're from too.
Oh, yeah.
Like I left, no, not intentionally really, but like I left Canberra and then I've been here the whole time.
I was just about to ask where from. So fireworks.
Yeah, fireworks, Canberra.
I didn't know. Are they not allowed anymore?
No, but
Well,
for
it's devastating. I just found out that they were allowed at one point.
yeah, sorry about that. For a spell, Canberra was the only place you get them.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get them still.
You can still get them for sure, yeah.
Write that down.
But there was like shops, like you could. I mean, the big one actually was. So there was like 3 day as they were trying to like taper it off. There was like you could only buy them for public holidays,
Right.
and the big public holiday they would always advertise them for was Queen's birthday weekend.
Yeah.
Because it was like
Isn't that? I don't know why I maybe know this. Is it the 8th of January? No, that's
Nope.
Elvis's birthday.
8th of June,
Never mind.
I think it was.
Oh my God,
It's the
really?
king's birthday.
Well, it's the king's birthday.
The king of
our monarch.
Yeah.
No, but the big one was the Queen's birthday weekend, and like everywhere would get these licenses to sell fireworks for the weekend,
Yeah.
and so you were getting like any shop would be selling fireworks just for that Saturday or whatever.
Getting in on the action.
Yeah. And the big one was where we always used to go to buy them for whatever reason was the Video Easy near us was selling fireworks.
Do they come with popcorn in them?
I can't. I mean, I really,
That's not a real question.
I really think the
You
actual
light it,
reason.
then a popcorn pops as it's in the sky.
Imagine they just fill it with kernels and fireworks. That is a business idea.
I think the real
And
reason.
we've come up with a business idea.
Yeah, new segment.
I think the real reason was tying to the episode we did with Callum. I think it was just like, well, we were gonna go to the video shop anyway
Yeah.
to get,
Shrek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't we get some fireworks while we're there?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's
And then
the
just-
ultimate slumber party hang.
Yeah. But yeah, so that
Night in, night out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Canberra in that 90s 2000s period,
That's fun.
there's fiirworks, baby.
Yeah, that's
They're
really
gone.
fun.
Yeah.
That's kind of the only fun I've heard about Canberra in those times.
Um,
Everybody always tell like
You
I
like
went-
drinking in parks? That happens.
Well, I wouldn't be drinking in a park if I had a popcorn firework. I'd be doing that. I probably would have not drank at all.
Well, we used to combine the two, you see,
Ah,
Yeah.
and drink in the park and
Light
light
a few
fireworks.
fireworks off.
yeah, that's
One
fun.
time we got a like a bucket, like a big bucket of fireworks. Went to this park. We're all, ripping into Passion Pop, all the heavy
Passion
hitters.
Pop. I can still taste it.
Absolute dog shit. But we were smashing some Passion Pop, and one of our friends was like, "Hey, I'm gonna light this." And we were all like, "Yep, let's see what it does," thinking it was gonna shoot out, be a really amazing firework.
Oh no.
And he it was a really long cylinder, and I think we were all like children and drunk enough to be like, "I don't know what that is, but go for it." And he pulled the top off it, and it was a sea flare,
What's like I'm
that
lost at sea.
no, like that you throw into the water, and it still shoots out flames.
So what does it do when it's not in the water?
Goes absolutely psycho. It was
no.
just shooting up in the air, and we were in a school playground, and he was just holding it and he just kind of threw it, and we were all it's so bright that it's
You can't look at it.
well, lights in houses start turning on in
oh
the
my
suburb,
God, it's
and
like
we're
a movie.
oh fuck, and we all just bailed. the next day I went to work. I worked at a petrol station just down the road from this school. And there was like police tape all around the playground.
Oh my God.
And
one photo of you pinned to the wall.
He'd like thrown it. And as he'd thrown it, it landed on the playground and it like melted half this primary school playground.
Oh my God.
This
Like,
is amazing.
It was like a full, and we're like, I drove to work, got to work, and I was like, holy shit, we just like destroyed that primary school playground.
Wait a second. You went to work? I thought, I don't know if I missed a part, but I thought that you were like a child.
Well, I was like 16
I mean, where were you working?
at a petrol station.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Not like an office job.
Yeah, cool. You just like briefcase.
Yeah.
Well,
But
it's kind of wild how, close a call that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I got there, and then the other guys who were like all at the party as well, who I also worked with, were like, did you see the playground? It's pretty fucked out there.
Yeah. It's like a mate of ours threw a chisel over the train tracks at school. And then in the school newsletter, it was like, it almost hit someone.
That's the drama.
Yeah.
The drama.
Principal's
oh my
up there like, no throwing chisels from the woodwork room over the train line.
I have a cousin that's much younger than me, and one Christmas or something, we went home. I went back to Canberra, and they're like, oh, he got in trouble at school. What for? Oh, every day after school, he was just going to an overpass and just throwing rocks off it.
I got almost arrested for that with pine cones. Similar.
Oh.
Well,
I didn't know.
yeah.
You're not allowed to.
I think
Well,
as
you
a-
don't think.
I think as a kid, you're just like, fuck it, whatever.
I truly remember like mum pull it like I got arrested, and then the cops. I can't remember if they took me back to my friend. I think they took me back to my friend's house. My mum came and she was like, "Why were you doing that?" And I was like, "So they'd run over them."
Yeah.
She was like, "Do you
Oh.
know that if like a motorcyclist went over a pine cone, they'd probably die?" And I was like, "Obviously not, Joy. I wouldn't have done that." She was like, "Cool." That was that. But you don't know when you're a kid.
No, and
No.
I think my cousin's thing was he threw like a handful of rocks and it smashed a windscreen.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And
that's
someone
not
was like,
good.
like, and yeah.
Imagine that. You'd be so annoyed.
Well, and the other thing too is like, yeah, thinking now, like if someone smashed my windscreen, some little motherfucker on a bridge, I'd be
Yeah.
like,
I remember when we were throwing the pine cones and we were like waiting for cars to hit them and stuff. And this car just pulled over. It was like a 6-lane highway in like Mount Barker or something. And this guy got out and it was an off-duty cop.
Ooh.
So I just saw a man chasing us in casual clothes. So I climbed a tree, should have broken off every branch.
Yeah. Couldn't get up there.
He got me down. I didn't climb very far. But that's like he came and chased me and then like took us.
a cab.
Yeah. Well, that's like I remember, like throwing like roof rocking houses. And then I remember one where it was like, must have been 16, 17.
Wait,
like
what's a roof rocking?
we
house?
basically just grab a bunch of rocks and throw them onto someone's roof and it sounds like stuff's dropping down.
I know
But
what
this
I'm
guy
doing
ran
later.
out of his house, like just in a pair of jocks.
Ready to kill.
And he just ran into a bunch of our mates all drinking. We were like on our way to a house party. And then he was just like, oh, sorry, guys. Like, I know you're only mucking around. And then he drank with us.
Oh, that's amazing.
And I remember him distinctly going like, any of you guys got a cigarette?
Yeah.
And he's like, none of us did at the time. And he was
How
like,
old were you?
we would have been like 15, 16.
God, imagine if you were, what was he, like 30?
He must have been like, in our heads, he was like
100.
100.
Yeah.
But he would have been like
This is probably our
younger than
age.
me now.
Yeah. But even if he was 25, imagine wanting to not even drink, even just be around a
Oh
group
my
of
God.
15-year-olds.
The thing now is like,
No.
Wanted to go out, these guys are kicking on.
Yeah. These are my new friends.
when I was a kid, like, there's certainly a meme about this, but there's like a thing where like when you're 15, a 20-year-old looks like 100 years old.
Yeah.
And then when
Yeah.
you're 20, a 15-year-old looks like a fucking baby.
Oh, big time.
And then now, like, a 25-year-old to me looks like a baby.
I'm
Like,
really fearful of turning 37 because even like my earliest memories, I've put it in my head and I still fully believe it that 37 is the coolest age you can be.
I mean,
And I really do. Are you 37?
no, I'm not.
Later this year.
Well, you
I
have a
will be.
podcast and a pluck a dog, so I just
Yeah.
thought maybe.
You're close.
I'm close. Well, I distinctly remember making fun of my mum turning 40. and
Old as hell.
old as hell.
You just,
Imagine.
What did you say? Like she wakes up, she's feeling real shit about herself, and you walk in, you're like,
You're
Suck
40.
shit.
more wrinkles.
Sucked in.
Suck shit, mum.
And now I'm dangerously close to that
It's coming.
Yeah.
time. Damn
Do
it.
this.
Yeah, do it. Yeah.
I only did that because I can actually hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Good shit. I like that.
That's sick as hell.
We've talked about nothing we came here to talk about, but that's
I'm
the
really
best.
sorry.
That's actually
No.
the beauty
I
of it.
find that happens.
That's the best way
I got
to
a
do
lot
this.
to say about nonsense and the questions. Even you like sent through some questions today, and I was like, if I read them, there just won't be.
No.
We need
No,
to wing
it's
it.
actually worked out way better. I think we're still getting used to doing this.
Yeah, I got no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I think you're both doing great. I already told you.
Yeah. No, it's actually been way more fun rather than like,
You've came on and given us like 8 more segments.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I still want to go through my bag.
Yeah. But I think we got to have you back on.
yeah.
I'd love to. I said we should go to a factory.
Yeah, let's do a remote. Let's get
Let's
someone
go.
to film us.
I've heard there's a Vegemite factory.
there.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
there
like
has to be.
near-
For all of you watching at home, give us $1 and we'll fund it. Us.
I love that you threw it a Cam.
Yeah.
I love that you asked before and then you did it.
Yeah, that's it.
I know where it is now. Give us your dollars so we can go to factories and make a video about it. Please.
Because you drive past it, you can smell it on the freeway.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Wait,
just-
Vegemite?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just before the Westgate,
been.
going over the Westgate.
Oh, I didn't know it was so close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in Port Melbourne, I think.
Port Melbourne, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to go, I want to go, I want to go.
Yeah.
Are we already up? Is that what you mean by let's do another podcast? Because we're already out of time.
Yeah, we're getting there.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
My bad. I haven't answered any of your questions.
No,
Well,
that's
the
okay.
good thing is that I looked over and I was like, 40 minutes. I was like, what the hell? It felt like 5. So
Yeah.
that's great. That's
We
good
have a lot
podcast.
to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a lot of factories to visit. We got a lot of.
I really think we should get someone to film it.
Yeah.
And we go to the Vegemite factory.
Maybe we could make some really sugary water before we go too. And
Oh,
then,
yeah.
Like just to amp. No,
Water
we'll just,
talk.
we'll just eat your bag of Boost bars.
Okay, so first we go to Ringwood to the Cadbury factory.
Yeah, get
get a
your
bag.
Granada bag.
We get a bag of very smooth Boost bars. Then we head straight to the Vegemite factory.
Yeah, yeah. I'm into it.
Yeah.
Have you heard about the? I went to Mildura for a wedding like a year ago, and because of Mildura juice and my love for factories, I immediately was like, I'm going to Mildura. There's going to be a Mildura factory. There isn't, but I found this place called Orange World.
Orange World.
You looked up Orange World before? You're in for a treat. There's a tiny. Okay, so like one of my other things that I really love is a tiny train, like a tour train.
Oh, yeah.
There's one in like the back streets of Moorabbin.
There's
Yeah.
a big one in Canberra.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. No,
Yes.
I don't. I don't know what.
Like a little,
like you get on a tiny train
yeah.
and you go around.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
My
so they
uncle
have
used
one
to
of
drive
those.
the one in Canberra, by the way.
See, now I don't want to be a truck driver. What if
Little train driver.
tiny train driver?
Yeah.
I could wear my little hat. Anyway, Orange World is insane.
What's there?
Orange World is a working 50-acre citrus property offering educational and informative citrus tours. Sounds pretty good.
And there's a giant like plaster orange, and its eyes are like weird. I really like weird Australiana
Oh yeah.
sculptures and
It's-
just like front yard. You know when people get really into front yards and there's like weird Santa Clauses doing weird.
We got one
things.
around the corner from my house.
Do you?
Yeah.
Excursion.
Let's go.
right
And it's like
now.
the weird, the big earthworm on the way to Phillip Island.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I've
can go
never
in
heard
there.
about the what you can go in a worm.
Yeah. Much like Dune.
The movie.
I've not seen it.
you
I'm not
gotta.
up to date.
you gotta get into the cinemas.
Remember how I said the ADHD thing?
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
can't
Isn't
sit
it-
through a 3-hour movie.
And
No
it
way.
sucks because I really love a lot of 3-hour films, but I have to watch them when they're
At home.
available to me
Yeah.
to watch at home, and I can do it over 2 days.
I mean, we were talking about this before as well. Like, there's some that are like, I'll wait till it's on Netflix. Like, give me a day.
You got to chunk it up.
But then
Yeah.
some of my favorite films are 3 hours long, and like I have no problem watching them. But the first initial watch, I can't do it. I can't sit
Yeah.
in a cinema for that long.
My thing years ago was like, I'd be pissing. Like I got a wee all the time.
Well, I looked
And then
up.
it's so salty because of all
Yeah.
the popcorn, and then you
Yes.
get a wee. Yeah.
Yeah, I looked up when to pee. I looked that up.
Jude, when to pee.
Yeah, you look up
Did
when
you
to
pee?
I didn't because I was extremely dehydrated.
Because of the salt.
Yeah.
But hold on. Do you do this before you go to every movie? And are there answers?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, there's
and it'll be
answers.
like
Big
this
time.
comes on the screen. It's your you got 2 minutes to duck out.
Oh my God, I've
so
never
you don't
thought.
miss a like
yeah, a
story
crucial
bit.
plot point.
I have to burp really bad. Can I do
Go
it?
for it.
Go for
I
it.
got to do too.
Oh, so little. Oh.
Drink
Cut that
another-
out.
Have another beer. You'll get it.
Try and come up with a better one.
No, I was like, I was terrified in that movie because I love it so much that I was like, if I get a piss in this thing,
I'm out.
I'm out.
Yeah, that's why I like watching them at home.
Yeah.
Build a little fort,
Yeah.
get whatever snacks you want. They're not crazy expensive, and then watch it over 2 days. Pee whenever you want.
Yeah.
I will say, yeah, that was good. Proud of you and upset.
Thank you. Thank you.
And a little jealous. I really, I don't know why I started thinking about this, but I really love commercials. It's because of the peeing thing.
Mm-hmm.
I've just come to this realization that I really love them. And they're not around, like, you know how there'll be like an ad, like say you're watching maths or whatever, and it's like a stupid ad. They're only around for like 2 weeks and then they're gone forever.
Well, that's a real weird thing in like because of YouTube and streaming.
There's
and stuff,
ads
right?
again now.
Well, but they're not like you don't see an ad in syndication forever. Like
No.
Yeah, that's what. And then you
Yeah.
look back, like even, you know, when you like watch an old, like record, like you've recorded like funniest home videos or something, and then you don't think the ads are the part you want to record, but then you accidentally do and whatever. And then you watch them and you're like, the nostalgia.
Yeah.
great.
I'm going to feel like that in 15 years about like that weird insurance ad that was on last night.
13, 30, 32.
13, 13, 32.
32.
Yeah,
I love that kid.
that kid.
Where
He's
is he?
there.
Where is he now?
My friend Pete went to school with him.
Can you find out where he is?
Yeah, it came up a few years ago, and a radio station contacted my mate Pete and like, how can we get in contact with him? He's like, yeah, no problem.
If you get
13,
him.
30, 32.
The Lube-mobile kid.
Yeah, which is
And you're
awesome.
like, it was so simple.
Yeah, great gag.
You need to get him on the podcast.
Yeah.
Can you imagine
local
if you
celeb.
got that kid?
How many questions do we have for the Lube-mobile kid?
Well, there was a good. There's a guy. I think I saw him on TikTok, and he does like club rants. Like tells really. I think his thing is Danny Rants, but he tells really interesting story about like 2000s nightclubs in Australia and stuff like that. But the other day he had on Corey Worthington,
Oh yeah.
Is that the party
the party
kid?
the party kid,
Yeah.
and
See, get him on.
but he's like crazy.
I
Oh, is
actually
he?
don't think you.
Not
as soon as I
crazy,
said
but-
get him on, I was like, maybe I should.
But he's like so fit. He's like into Ninja Warrior
Of
stuff.
course.
I gotta say, I'm happy he went down the looking after his body route,
Yeah.
other than the break into someone's
'Cause he
house
coulda
and go,
gone
right.
off the deep end.
He could have
could've
gone the other
hard,
way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Corey Worthington will reach out.
Yeah.
Corey Worthington,
If you're
Lube-mobile
listening.
kid, double pod.
The Luberkill, the Luberkill.
Luberkill.
Ooh. I honestly would. I think I'd fan out for no reason. That kid did nothing to get. He's not. You
Yeah.
know. But I think I actually would be like, oh my god.
Get
Yeah.
him and the roof seal on.
I think and Patty I think Patty worked with one of the kids from Round the Twist.
Yeah.
Bronson?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he did.
He was a big club guy too. There's
Yeah,
like
I
a
think
video
so.
of him doing the Melbourne Shuffle.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, he
Patty
went on
worked
to
with him
live
at-
his life.
I think he worked in like an ad agency or something.
We actually have to wrap this up.
Okay.
Because our booking ends.
That's it. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'd like to thank the Academy.
But a great way to end where you're like, we could talk for another 2 hours. So we'll have to have you back
I really
on.
do want to go on an excursion to the
Yeah,
Movie
we gotta do
Factory.
We got to do that.
Thank you very much for doing this with us.
No,
Yes.
I've had a blast.
Thank you.
I would have just gone home and said all of this to my boyfriend. So it's nice to have another outlet.
Great.
So quick plug. Where can people find you?
Ginger Taylor Artist on everything. Don't type in gingertaylor.com. I think that's a porn site. I'm gingertaylor.net.
Okay.
Great. I also have solo.net. So
Do
I love a
you?
.net.
I don't really fully understand why I couldn't get. I think just .com was porn stars.
Yeah.
More expensive, I think.
And
Yeah.
when you get a name like Ginger, like I don't know what my parents expected. You know what I mean? But yeah, Ginger Taylor, artist on everything.
Great.
That's it. Join my Patreon. It's really fun. It's a lot like this podcast, but in paper form.
Get the zine.
Magic.
Perfect.
Thank you for coming again.
Yeah,
we really
thank you.
appreciate it.
No, thanks for having me.
And we'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah.
I want to wink at the camera again.
Where's mine?
Say hi to your mum for me. Is that a Rove thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So, Rove, if you're listening,
Yeah.
catch you soon.
Yeah.
Follow Solo.
Yep.
Follow Ginger.
Follow Aaron. Your
Pluck it
hearance is off private now.
Yeah, it's off private now. So, anyone from work, don't. But, otherwise, thanks.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Sorry I didn't answer any of your questions about art. Maybe next time.
Fuck it.
See ya.
Fuck
See
it.
ya.